Love that.
All right, look at that. Everyone's laughing. It's another, and Nick walked away. It's another movie Shoehorn podcast. So welcome everyone. Oh, Ben was about to walk away. Okay, guys, let's not have it like we had last week. So this is the Shoehorn podcast. This week we are watching Ben's selection, The Color of Money, 1986 sports movie.
Yeah, that's listed as
Drama?
that. Yeah.
That's a sport, huh?
Martin Scorsese film. Honestly, I would not have known
boy.
this was a Scorsese movie if I didn't look it up. But
Yeah.
Ben, would you like to take the floor? How did?
Well, we were actually just discussing another unknown about this film. It's actually a sequel.
Yes, I read that, to The Hustler, right?
Yeah,
1961.
I was not aware of that fact.
And it's mentioned sort of two times. He says the last time I played pool was before you were born, and Tom Cruise was born the year after The Hustler came out.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have sex with your wife. What?
Like it in the shower. Yeah.
Yeah, you learn in the shower, don't you? Huh? You like it?
What else has that actress been in? I swear she's been.
Oh,
in
yeah.
The Abyss.
Scarface.
Which one? Tom Cruise.
Scarface. That is what.
That's
Scarface is what
That's
I was.
Tony Montana's. That's Tony Montana's sister.
Yep. That is what I
Silly
remember her
frog.
from.
Yeah, she'd been, and there. I was looking at her page, and there was another big one too. Scarface, Abyss, and there was one more, I think. Big
Yeah.
one.
She's in Costner's Robin Hood.
That was it. Yep.
Wow.
She was Marianne. Yep, that was it.
Oh, Marianne.
How you doing, Nick?
I can't talk without my watch.
You've lost the ability. If you can't respond, can I call you later?
This is what technology
okay.
has done to us.
I mean, you know.
I didn't know that about the Hustler. I didn't know that this was a sequel.
Really?
Well,
Somebody said, I thought it was somebody on this podcast, but a while ago said, there's a sequel, but skip it. That was nobody on this podcast?
Skip the
I
sequel?
think that was
There's a first one.
I think that was a
sequel,
different
huh?
movie.
No one here has seen The Hustler. I would be shocked.
I'd say skip them. I'd say skip them both.
Ooh.
Oh, whoa.
Coming in hot.
The big skip them
Damn.
both for me.
All right. Well, I had originally
Another
watched
movie
this
about
movie.
another movie that was worthless. What a worthless ride we had here. It was about pool this time, though. Luckily, about a sport called pool, where you go to chain smoke and harass women.
Let me out.
Jesus
Let
Christ.
me out of here.
Yeah,
What is it? What's the problem with?
I mean, what?
It wasn't original.
What happened?
Yes, I
What
have
was
some
it?
on my side.
Okay. Well, this was a movie I chose because I hadn't.
It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. Sure, it was Martin Scorsese. I guess I have to like it, and I really don't. Paul Newman means nothing to me. He means nothing to me. Who the fuck even is Paul Newman? Yeah. Tom Cruise was horrendous. Was not good. I just
He wasn't supposed to be. This was a Paul Newman vehicle.
great, and I know he won Best Actor for it, which to me it's like, man,
He did?
yeah,
Yeah.
he won the Oscar
Well, I read that they said they gave it to him because
for sure.
he didn't win it for his other actually
But-
good stuff.
That's
Guys.
great. That's great.
Guys, Ben
I
was
like it
talking.
with-
Yeah, let
What's
Ben
up?
do his spiel,
Yeah.
Swan.
Well, why can't I come in hot?
Ben looks annoyed. I don't want him to leave this podcast. Ben, how did you? Have you seen this before?
Well, no, I was just gonna say that this was a movie I had seen like 3/4 of a bunch of times and had really enjoyed when I was younger, and it was due for a rewatch. And like I said, I think I had only seen like 3/4 every time.
Makes sense.
I
What 3/4?
I- like blah 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 blah
End
blah.
or beginning?
Like probably when in the big like I probably missed the first 30 minutes of the movie every time.
Okay. Well, lucky you.
Oh, I can show you a
If you
picture.
say so.
Can I show
I
you a
mean-
picture my wife took of me asleep in the 25th minute, asleep on the couch, asleep. Woke up though, finished her.
The one thing that I took away from this film, other than that Wyatt hated it, is that Paul Newman is just a force to be reckoned with on the screen.
Is he?
Oh, I disagree.
I don't-
I disagree.
Yeah, I don't see.
Is he?
I agree with that.
It's a
100%.
facade.
I thought Paul
Unbelievable.
Newman was great, and it made me want to watch more of his stuff.
I wish I could have acted
Butch
back
Cassidy and the Sundance Kids is my
I would've
next
been-
pick for
then. I would have
sure.
been huge.
You would have been huge.
I would have been the biggest actor ever because it took no fucking talent.
Christ.
The best thing that came out of this movie was the video game Doom. Do you know that they named the game Doom after his pool stick? That entire reference that's what they named Doom after. For some reason, those nerds were watching that dumb fucking movie and created Doom. Thank God.
Oh my
Paul
God,
Newman
I
was like
actually
the
started
biggest
crying.
star of those times, I think.
Whoa.
I know. It's
Um,
like Brendan Fraser.
So I said this last week, and I just, to get away and make this a little bit less about if it's good or not, I kept thinking there's so many parallels. So this is the third time in this calendar year, and the only 3 times I've ever watched it. But every time I watch it, I'm seeing this as, I keep thinking of Kingpin, of the, like, it ends at the big tournament. He even hears the stick, just like when he hears the strike in Kingpin. I couldn't imagine that the Farley brothers weren't influenced by this to have that as the Kingpin reference, because he's like down on his luck at the bar and hears the strike hit, and he goes, "Oh my gosh!" and he turns it all
He
around.
hears the talent, yeah.
Yeah, and he hears the talent in the pool cue,
Uh-huh.
and I think that there's a lot of parallels between this movie and Kingpin, and I will say I like Kingpin better than this movie. I love Kingpin, but this is not I didn't think it was a bad movie, and I think that first scene, in the dialogue, the presence of Paul Newman, the whole charade, it's really good storytelling. Like, it's just it's very easy, and I think this is rewatchable. Somebody said Moneyball, The Color of Moneyball. I think this is as rewatchable as like a movie like Moneyball is. I like it. I think
It's just hard.
It's an easy bit.
Yeah,
I'm watching it. It's on in the background right now. Amazon Prime got me. It was $1 more to buy it, so I bought it.
I've seen
Yeah, I
it-
did the same thing.
I've seen this movie probably 4 or 5 times now.
Cool.
And I completely disagree, Wyatt. I think it is an excellent storytelling movie. I think Ben nailed it in the chat. If you think this movie is about pool, you are missing the point.
Who said
What
it was
is
about
what is it
pool?
about though? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really fully
yeah.
understand.
what is it?
It's a
enlighten
comeback
me, you
story.
fucking genius.
Yeah.
It's a comeback
Let's hear it. I
story,
can't
and
wait.
it's a story about a begotten.
Full of poets.
Is that the right word? But
Sure.
it's like an era of the past that's dying,
Mhm.
and they're trying to find their past glory again.
I think
When Tom Cruise is mad that he said like you used us. What,
Yeah.
What
He was trying to live vicariously
same
through
question.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what they had was a business relationship in which he staked him to play pool and hustle people.
Yeah. No,
They're
yeah, I
both
get that part.
hustlers. That's the rub, is that they're both intrinsically like
Crazy.
playing each other in a certain way. There's always this not real
Game.
negotiation.
What?
But they're
I
not
think
both
Carmen was more playing Newman.
Tom Cruise was
than-
not a hustler.
Tom
until
Tom
very-
Cruise seemed very clueless as to what he was actually
No,
doing.
he definitely was green, but
Vincent's
his girl
character.
controlled him. His girl
Yeah,
controlled
that's what I'm saying.
that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he
but
never.
he
But
would
he
go
caught
around.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he would go around and get money off people playing pool. Like,
Yeah, but he didn't
Ugh.
hustle people like.
He didn't have that lose
that's fair.
first, win
Okay,
later
so
tactic.
I would say
but-
the naive card for sure. And by the end, he learns and he becomes that person.
Yeah, I'm not saying that this was the worst movie of all time at all. No, I'm just simply saying for what it's kind of regarded as, it really was nothing for me. It was kind of a nothing burger. It just was.
Well, I didn't know. I mean, when I turned it on, I had no idea Scorsese did it until the credits with the cigarette. I didn't know. I still didn't know till this podcast started that he won an Oscar for it. I thought it was like it's a cool movie. Like I never thought of expectations when I watched it. I knew the name of it, but
it was I wasn't like hating like necessarily like I want this to end that like some of the movies we've watched, because I think it was somewhat well done, but it just the plot for me and the stakes were not there. I don't care. It's not it wasn't very unique. A guy staking a gambler that then hustles him.
Oh, sure.
It's like
we know the story.
We'd already seen it in Kingpin.
Right, and I understand it was more of like like you said, it's more than just Pool. Obviously, it's what's underneath all that and the human aspect of it. But it was fucking dumb. It was dumb. It was fucking dumb. What was so fucking great about the underlying plot of like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it.
All right, let me come in here for a quick second.
We'll explain it to you.
There's a father-son aspect going on. There's the has-been situation. There's a whole shitload going on.
None of that is new. That's all old tropes.
Yeah, okay, but this was made in '86.
Okay, it's like I don't know what to tell you, man.
All right, so for Wyatt, this movie doesn't hold up. It's not watchable in 2023.
So
I'm not. It's just another meaningless movie to me. This is thrown in a pile of kind of a meaningless movie. I wish Martin Scorsese would have utilized his talent for something else. Pool, like you say, Moneyball, and I guess because I played baseball, it's insane to even compare those movies to me. Moneyball is the most captivating movie about one of the most boring sports in reality. Like,
I beg to differ. I think Moneyball is fucking stupid.
Oh, that's crazy.
And that's right, yeah. It's like there's certain aspects that I just might like.
No, it's just a stupid movie. It's a terrible movie. I hate that movie. It sucks.
Yeah.
Stupid. Fucking stupid.
You're being
It's meaningless.
Yeah, it's a meaningless stupid movie.
If it was about soccer, you probably would have been. Oh
no, it's so original.
I'll tell you. Well, Travis, you want to?
I love Moneyball. I love the movie Moneyball.
Well, I'm just glad that I have someone on my side this week because I have a lot of the same feelings as last week and what White said, where I just I liked the beginning. I was giving it a chance, but it was just a lot of the same scenes over and over. Like it was a lot of him being like, "You'll never learn," and then him like just disobeying, and like the pool scenes weren't that interesting. I feel like it was missing something. Like we never got a scene where I don't know, just like a great pool scene where they kind of like broke it down or something. It was just kind of like them hitting the 8-ball into the corner pocket, and like I guess towards the end when Paul Newman's guy like starts to come back, it's a little bit better. But I don't think Pool can be like you said. Like there's something else driving this movie. I don't think Pool like sustained my entertainment of like, and the characters didn't either. Like
I can understand that
the characters. So
that's what I was worried about.
I was just kind of waiting for the end, and then the end, it's just like, oh, they don't actually play each other. So it's just like it was almost like the Karate Kid if they just said, oh, I'm not gonna actually be in the tournament. I'm DQing myself.
That guy was so fucking weird, man.
It was just, I don't know. And like, it felt very like 80s-ish where it was just like, it's a Scorsese movie where he just plays a lot of like the same kind of bar-y, I don't even know, like noir kind of music, smoky cigarette.
Yes.
Over and over. Like,
yep.
Just, there wasn't a lot of the same thing to me. Like it never really. And like when they did do different stuff, like what the fuck, Tom Cruise is jumping on the bed like a 6-year-old with his girlfriend, and I was just like, what the fuck is happening? So it wasn't like the worst movie ever. Like why? I like all the actors are great. Like it was cool seeing a young Forrest Whitaker.
It was good in it,
but it just didn't hold my attention really.
Same.
Personally,
I was pretty captivated by this movie. I've never seen a Paul Newman movie, and now I want to see his other two really famous movies. I thought he was awesome in it, and I don't know. I just thought this is the kind of movie that we don't get anymore that I miss. That is just sort of a relatively simple story that's fucking pretty well executed. Like now everything is, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, but you robbed from the native people, so you're a bad person, and complex storylines and CGI. Like, I just want a movie to have good actors and be well executed and well directed. And I mean, it's interesting why, because I've just read that Martin Scorsese, this is not a type of movie he like would ever want to do. But he feels like he didn't really have a connection to this movie. He just felt like sort of a hired gun.
His least, out of all his movies.
And
on his career though.
What?
Because he was. I feel like he was established by this point. Like it's
Yeah,
almost like
he
he did.
had already done Raging Bull.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, and Taxi Driver.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't. Yeah, maybe I came in too hot. I don't mean to kill it that bad. Don't hate it like that. Like, but it was just, I don't know. I think it.
But there's other
I'm right there.
movies where Nick is talking about with the Kingpin thing. One of my favorite things is, I can't think of what other movies this is in, but it's in other movies besides Kingpin. But that moment where what's his name? Fast Eddie he's shooting the shit with his girl, he's talking liquor, and boom, he hears that break, and his head like snaps.
Yeah.
There's other movies with that. That scene was that
the pop,
awesome.
the pop of a
he hears the
fastball.
pop of that talent, like he hears the pop of the baseball.
Well, and he's so familiar with the game that all he needed to do was hear it. You know?
Yeah, of course.
No, I love that.
He said something like, "Kid's got a rocket" or something.
Got a hammer.
Got thunder.
Oh man,
hammer breaker.
Yeah, hammer break. I think is what he said.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It would be cool to be good at pool, but I just can't relate to giving a fuck about pool.
Yeah,
it's pretty boring.
I don't know.
Boring thing.
I wanted to piggyback off what Travis
too
said.
poor. We didn't have pool tables. Sorry.
At the end of the day, this was just a
fast steadies.
It wasn't like a super complex story, but it was extremely well executed, I thought.
So, like,
why?
Really quickly, like in a movie,
what does that even mean?
Why is Rounders?
You didn't.
Why do you like Rounders?
I liked the music. I liked all the like editing and the shots in the film.
Yeah.
I thought they were all good. I just thought it was well executed. The acting was great. I didn't watching this before. I forgot. And watching it from start to finish, I think it's a better way to see it. It's not a Tom Cruise film. It's a Paul Newman film. And they kind of almost make you think it's going to be a Tom Cruise film for like the first 45, 50. Yes, he played a flamboyant jackass in the film. But regardless.
I feel like a lot of early Tom Cruise stuff is like that, though. That was his whole thing.
Did. Days of Thunder.
That was his bit. Like he was this adorable,
when it fully transforms into a Paul Newman film is like when I feel like it really starts to get exceptionally good.
I could go I'm not gonna do it, but I could go for about 5 minutes on Paul Newman. Just it seems like it's almost like I get he kind of does have an aura, but I also think it's almost like he's overacting what they're trying to do.
You don't want a mustache after watching that?
A mustache?
Yeah. So I agree.
Oh, you have a
well, I cut this. It's a mustache.
All right, shut up.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I agree with Ben. I think this movie, it's a very simple plot. It is, guy is pretty much, he's given up. He's decided, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm going to go in the fake liquor label business and give people this knockoff whiskey with, premium labels and sell it to bars and hotels. And he hears Tom Cruise break and his blood starts to boil. It gets the juices flowing. And it's about him forming a relationship while at the same time still trying to hustle them. The Tom Cruise and his girlfriend, who, by the way, I thought was a smoke in this movie.
So hot. That's part of the whole movie.
My two favorite parts of this movie are the opening dialogue between Paul Newman and Carmen, and Paul Newman playing Forrest Whitaker, Amos. The Paul Newman Forrest Whitaker scene is outstanding, and I get how you can sort of knock the acting. I get it. I thought everybody was excellent. Even Tom Cruise. I thought Tom Cruise was excellent in this movie. He played that douchebag role extremely well. Like, there are moments in this movie where you absolutely hate him. You're like, what the fuck is he doing? Like Juan said, he's jumping on a bed. He's acting like he's 8 years old. But that was his character. He was just this
Right.
happy-go-lucky. And Paul Newman said it at the beginning when they went out to dinner. He said, "You're a character." And Tom Cruise sort of took it like, "Oh yeah, I'm a great character." And he said, "No, you are a character."
He took it as him saying like you have character, which
Yeah.
would be a compliment, like saying you're a strong person. You know.
Yep.
Right.
Over that.
Just excellent. Paul Newman was outstanding. And I get how you can think he overacted, but I think that was when you watch older movies like this, like watch any Clint Eastwood older movie,
No
it's
thanks.
sort of the same thing because
I won't.
it's really
I don't
the
want that.
emphasis
It's not
behind
good.
it. It's all on the acting.
Thanks.
This is film as art.
You're
film as
not
entertainment.
a thespian. Y'all don't know shit. You
Film
can
as
say
art?
whatever you want. You're still the same old schmuck as me.
What
It's
art?
just it's not that it's not
Why are you
high
taking
art.
this
What were the
First-
moments?
Oh,
What were the
fuck
moments where
is
there was like
happening?
full acting? Like, give me a scene where it was like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
it's
like,
so-
because there wasn't any.
Oh
Any
yeah,
of
I
the
thought
pool
I thought
any
the
of the pool matches.
I thought the one with
The pool
Forrest
matches. That's
Whitaker.
my whole point. The pool matches had no tension to them. I had never knew at any point like it was just like the way they shot it was just like
I appreciate
lost another game.
good
Game.
dialogue. I appreciate good editing. I appreciate
Dialogue.
a well put together film. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't. We all don't. Just you.
I just don't know what dialogue we're speaking of because there wasn't a lot. It was like cool.
Sometimes, I mean, does it have to be like Shakespearean for you to appreciate it, or can
No,
it
it
just be?
doesn't. I'm just saying like there was no scenes where I was like, oh man, like that was a good scene. Like they
Yeah,
really
like I wish I didn't hate Tom Cruise because I didn't give a fuck about him ever. So it's like I never hated him because I really never grew. It wasn't a movie that like. Yeah, I just don't understand. The woman like controlling him and the guy working through the woman like as if Tom Cruise had no like really, man. I don't know. I don't know how you can be that confident as a pool player yet need some woman to speak for you. It was kind of I don't really think those things go hand in hand.
Because he was a pampered little bitch.
Like some idiot savant. Is that
Yeah,
like
he was
No,
good
he
at
was
pool.
a rich
like what
kid.
the fuck?
He was a rich kid. Did you not pick up on the fact that she said she robbed his family?
Yeah, that was so dumb.
Yeah.
Cool,
And
nice.
then he picked her up at the police station. Like, how fucking stupid and
It was
naive
so
do you have
sweet.
to be to then go out to date this girl? She's wearing your mother's stolen necklace, and you don't put two and two together.
Yeah,
Like,
moron.
that wasn't
Uh-huh.
okay. So so he played that character great. If you agree, he was a moron.
No, it was
Yeah, there you go. You just proved my point.
right. Thank you
Yep.
for speaking for me.
Thank
This
you.
is going good. This is good.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
I think you guys are going a little overboard on your disdain for this film. I don't think it deserves
I
to be
think I'll
panned
just
that hard.
decide what I feel, and you can.
No,
continue
you're
to believe what you
you're
feel.
more than welcome to have your opinion.
Well, I don't
This is
need you to tell me that.
This
Thank
is my
you.
opinion of your
What is
opinion.
happening right now? Like I can
I
hate
don't
a
know.
movie.
Seems a little overboard.
This is another movie about with no stakes. There were no stakes. I didn't feel the stakes. There were no stakes.
There's no
It's
stakes.
pool. It's
I will say,
pool. The guy was made of money. He was pissing money the whole fucking
Actually, you know
movie.
what? The whole time I was thinking,
Oh, more money.
because I never saw the first movie. I didn't know there was a first movie, but they referenced his past a couple times.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the scene where his past comes back to haunt him, and that would have raised the stakes if they would have.
Well, maybe it was kind of a. We don't know how it ended, though, is the problem. So maybe it wasn't a situation where maybe there was people that he still had looking for him or trying to get revenge against him or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought was coming, and I think if that had come that before the the climax, that might have upped the stakes a little bit. Because I guess I can see that angle. The stakes were never super
All right,
duper high.
Of all the movies
Wyatt
we've seen,
and Eric have obviously had enough of this. Why don't we focus on what's happening next week?
well, just really quickly, I'd like
I wanna
of
keep-
all the movies we've seen so far, and I have my answer. Which movie has the highest stakes in them?
Off the top of my
Nope.
head, For the Devil Knows Your Head.
I'd go nope.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
I know my answer.
I need to think about all the movies we have.
Hunter Killer, obviously.
Hunter Killer is the correct answer.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Hunter Killer.
International nuclear warfare is the
Yeah,
highest stakes
In a
so far.
submarine. Yeah, you're
Well,
wrong.
but I didn't feel it.
Interstellar Presence. That's
I mean,
galactic.
That's true. That's true.
Or you could say like
You're
the
kind of
stakes, you don't need the stakes to matter, I guess. But then what about this movie is it like that you're enjoying? Because again, like
So, I mean, I think that I like it as a slow burn. Like
Okay.
that, it's like one of those type of movies. Like I feel the same way. I think, and I say it again, it's not that they're really that similar, but I think Moneyball has that feel too. It's not like I'm on the edge of my seat and like, oh my God, are the A's gonna win the World Series or not? I don't really care. I'm just along for the ride. I'm just along for the ride. I think it's like very well done. The
I
storytelling.
appreciate that. I think that's a good. Yes.
I agree,
Yes.
but I feel like there is no ride in it. Like the ride is like we
That's
mentioned.
fine. Yeah,
pretty
if it doesn't hit you.
See, I think that we would have to be older and know more about Paul Newman and be from that generation to more connect with it, because there's like this.
Yeah.
There's like this like. I'm tired. I'm. I used to be able to do this,
Real run.
but yeah, it's kind of like we're not there yet. We can't relate.
That guy thought
And we can't relate to Tom Cruise's character either, because he's such a flamboyant, like, loud
Well, you
mouth.
say like he's jumping on the
That's
bed and
true.
everything. He was doing that in his 40s on Oprah.
that.
He
Yeah,
didn't
that's him.
change.
That's him.
Dude.
He loves that
He's
Yeah,
shit.
as
crazy.
himself.
I
Yeah,
He's
agree.
crazy.
I mean,
that
he
I think
is.
we're
Yeah.
missing something, because I think if we had seen The Hustler, like you were mentioning, Travis, you were waiting for like some callback. I think that this movie assumes that the audience has seen The Hustler, which none of us have.
Yeah.
So that back piece is missing for us.
That was
I
crazy.
would still
It's like
say that
so long
it
ago.
stands pretty. I mean, obviously, you guys don't agree,
Right.
but I would say that even without knowing that this was a sequel film, it stands up pretty
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, it's
There's
fine.
only a handful of movies that could do that.
Paul Newman definitely was the only like thing that stood out in this movie to me, for sure. What he was trying to do. Maybe I was just kind of like taken aback because I've never seen him in anything, and I was just like, this is the Paul Newman.
Yeah, I guess that is probably
That I'm
the
supposed
crux of the whole thing. Is I was the same thing, but I actually enjoyed him and his part, Paul Newman. You didn't seem to enjoy it as much, so obviously it fell flat for you.
It was just
Just
like
think
an
about
80s,
this, Wyatt. Now you can
typical
watch
80s.
Jack Harlow in White Men Can't Jump.
I would if
That's
I
such
ever
a
watched
travesty.
that, you could cut my dick. What did you say about the movie? All I heard was the movie.
If-
I'm
if
just saying, like, this is what we're coming out with nowadays, is a remake of White Men Can't Jump with Jack Harlow. So,
You're literally picking one of the worst things that has come out. That doesn't even count as a movie.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
this
I
is
understand
still,
that.
like,
And sure, in comparison to that, of course, this movie would be, 1,000 times better than that. But that's not really.
I just have I guess I have
Not
more
really
of
a good example.
appreciation of what's come before than what's available now.
Yeah, but you say that as if I don't. As
Well,
if
I'm
I
not
like
saying
it.
you
Possibly
don't.
be
I just
asking the question.
I just
is
think
Paul
that-
Newman a good actor? Like that can't be
I
a
just-
question on this podcast.
right. Like, I just
It's
don't.
not
I
a-
don't. I don't
It's not
feel
even
like
a thought.
I
Yeah.
feel like if you had watched this in the '90s, you wouldn't hate it this much.
I don't-
He has his own salad dressing. This guy is a.
I was gonna say,
Damn.
haven't mentioned Newman's Own yet.
Holy fuck! Okay.
And all of that money goes to charity.
Yeah,
All
I
of
bet.
it, every
Have you guys
dime.
tried the pizzas yet?
Yeah, no.
I haven't
don't
had a
think-
Newman's
I
Own
have seen
pizza.
his pizzas. I
It's
haven't-
pretty good.
All right, but
Really
think
quick,
it was-
has anybody just had it the other night for the first time? Sorry, Travis. Has anybody had a hot Sicilian frozen pizza? Has the mustache on the box?
I've seen that.
Yes,
I've
I
seen
have not
that.
had it.
I finally tried it the other night. Pretty good. The pepperonis are excellent. The bread, a lot to be desired. If they could put,
Yeah, but the problem with frozen pizza is isn't it like the same price as getting like a delivery pizza?
Dude,
just
yeah, it's
about.
bad.
It's like
What?
getting a pickup. If you can get a Domino's
Pickup,
you can get a
yeah,
Domino's
exactly.
pickup
Yeah,
for
sure.
about the same price.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, not delivery, but yeah, pickup.
No, I only
my
buy
problem.
DiGiorno. I only buy DiGiorno when they're on sale.
Isn't
Baron
it called a
baby.
screaming Sicilian, by the
Yeah,
way?
Screaming Sicilian.
Yeah,
That's
Screaming
what it is.
Sicilian.
Yeah. So, as you recommend it, you give it the Paul Newman stamp of approval.
no, Amanda and I both agreed that Red Baron is superior.
I'm a Red
but
Baron
it wasn't
fan.
but it wasn't a bad try. It wasn't bad to try.
Red,
We just had a Red Baron tonight.
Red
Excellent.
frozen pizza's bad, and Red Baron embraces that and is good for what it is. In my
A Red
opinion.
Baron is good for.
I would say
four-star-
DiGiorno. I would say
four-star
DiGiorno or
restaurant.
the Newman's own pizzas are better than Red Baron.
You sleeping on Red Baron.
No,
I think
I've
that
had
Red
I've
Baron-
had my fair share of Red Barons.
Okay.
If I
Red
went
Baron's
to
fine.
if I went to a
Baron's fine.
4-star Michelin restaurant in the Swiss Alps and they served me a Red Baron, I would say thank you very much. This is excellent.
Tombstone guy myself.
Oh man,
A Tombstone?
Tombstone is
Get
what
outta here.
is the first.
That's a
the
Shoehorn.
first frozen pizza
Tombstone's
I
a
ever
Shoehorn
ate
movie.
was a Tombstone.
Oh, Tombstone's money.
Tombstone's a money. I saw that for the first time in my life, like 3 months ago.
I saw it for the first time a year or two ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
I always heard about that as a kid.
Yeah.
I heard
Val
it's,
Kilmer
you know,
is Doc Holliday is probably my
Oh,
favorite.
absolutely.
yeah, he's money.
All right,
He's
but
very money.
one thing about the Paul Newman tired thing, I think, was that you, Ben, saying that? Or was
Yeah,
that Nick?
he just constantly seemed like he was
I'm real run down.
But anyway,
run down and
that reminds me.
I literally could do.
have
I
you
could
guys
be
seen-
him.
This is I'm gonna tie this together with Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. But have you seen Spy Game with Robert Redford?
Afraid
Yeah.
I have.
yes, and Brad Pitt.
Yeah, and Brad Pitt. But Robert
Oh,
Redford
God, I
kind of
love
has a
Brad.
similar
Damn, that's
role
a great movie.
as an
Fuck, I haven't seen it
older
in so long.
CIA
Robert?
agent.
You are correct. You know that?
Right.
Robert Redford is the Paul Newman torch being handed over. That's a great
yeah,
call.
yeah.
Well,
See, I saw-
they are the stars of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid
Oh,
together.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah, no, nobody has.
Yeah,
Not anybody our age.
Serge showed me
Oh,
Cool Hand
fuck.
Luke. I had that DVD growing up. I haven't seen that in a long time, but I remember that being pretty good. Yeah, Robert Redford Spy Game. We
Yeah,
talked
we might-
about that on the ride to Spring Creek. That's
Yeah.
a money movie.
Yeah, we might have to do
That is
Spy
a great.
Game.
I would love to watch that again.
I
That
would-
is a movie that whenever it was on like HBO or Showtime or whatever, I put it on.
All I want to know is, I like it, but why'd you put that hat on all of a sudden?
I went to go get one, and I saw the hat, and I just put it on. And I was
it.
like-
Let's go.
What did you guys think about the
Good, I guess I gotta get
snippets
some
of
that
John Torturo that you got in that movie?
I always like him.
Mhm.
I thought that was good. I thought that his small interactions were good acting.
Yeah.
But that's because you like him. You
Or-
have
Who doesn't like John
doesn't?
Turturro?
Yeah, who has a problem with him?
nothing. Ben just got really
Old
upset.
fiend.
Forrest Whitaker was my favorite.
Ben,
Forrest Whitaker. So has anybody seen the movie Lush Life with
No.
Jeff Goldblum and Forrest Whitaker?
Nope.
Never even heard of it.
I forgot. I bought it on Amazon. I was drunk and I found a Korean like
Lush
copy on,
Drunk.
That's
whatever.
pretty funny, actually.
but it's like early '90s, and Forrest Whitaker has a brain tumor. It's him and Jeff Goldblum are jazz musicians in New York City,
Huh.
and it's like his last it's Jeff Goldblum coming to grips with his friend who's this excellent trumpet player with this brain tumor, and it's like them kind of going doing jazz clubs. It's a slow burn again. I think Wyatt would hate it.
Yeah,
But
sounds
it-
like it.
I
But
don't
it's
hate all
but
slow
it's-
burns.
I haven't seen that in
Manhunter
a long
rocked
time.
hard.
I haven't seen that in a
Slow
long
burn.
time, and I need to watch. I'll probably pop that in either tonight or tomorrow. Like that's a really good.
Wasn't for me.
From what I remember, it's a '90s film though. It's like has that like low quality edge to it, but it's pretty cool.
Just don't like pool.
Anyway, sorry, that's a tangent. But Forrest Whitaker, same time
Oh,
period, kind of. Zach.
something
Like
I'm-
young Forrest Whitaker, money.
Yeah.
The crying game.
Something I meant to bring
Yeah,
up.
Fast
Did
Times
you
at
guys
Ridgemont
notice?
High crushes it.
Did you guys
Yeah,
notice in the film that on a bunch of the breaks, it looked like the pool stick was hitting the table and bending?
I did notice some curvature in the stick.
He did it once.
Is that a thing that's like I've played pool plenty, but I've never been around a professional.
A sharp or a shark? Which one are you?
I'm a nub.
There's a scene where Tom Cruise actually it's one of the games he's playing, and he's taking a dive or whatever, but he scratches or he misses a shot, and he actually grabs, like he stops one of the balls with his hand on accident. Like during the game, and the guy then comes up and just continues playing like nothing happened, but it's very obvious like his hand got in the way.
Oh, really?
I didn't notice.
It's funny. One of the trivia
Oh,
things said that he did every one of the trick shots.
I
except
saw
for
the
one.
Yep.
What is
That's
what
his
was
thing.
that? What was the pool place in Springfield? You know, near Hard Times, what was the
Fast
pool
Eddie's.
hall called?
Fast Eddie's, literally.
Fast Eddie's.
I went there after work one time, like a long time ago, almost 10 years ago now. And this guy at Navy Federal, he would go there, have beers, and we played 2-on-2 with these guys that had their own sticks and everything. My partner, the guy that was like, they lived there, he would like say, he would just point to a spot. He'd say, hit the ball here and hit it at that rail right there. And like, I would do that and 3 balls would go in.
Wow.
And I was just like, holy
Jesus.
shit, dude.
Jesus.
That place
It's
was
crazy.
cool. They had those leveled seats in the middle
Yeah.
at Fast Eddie's.
Yep.
That place was
Dude,
real.
we went there,
We
Nick.
We
would go
went there for
advanced PE.
Nick, that's
yeah.
where
advanced PE.
that's where
Yeah.
That's true.
Huntingham was shrooming.
Really?
So
I
yeah,
didn't
you
know
got
that was
caught
the-
shrooming or
That
some
was
shit.
probably the best food that you could get on any advanced PE trip.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed. Was very
I
sized.
got a sick burger there.
So
Yeah,
that place was named after this character.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yep.
that the whole time. It
Yep.
had to be.
Well, they still exist. Fast Eddie's Billiards still exist around here. There's only a handful,
And,
but
Alan
Fast
Byers.
Eddie McClintock.
Go check out Alan Byers. He's
Fast
up
what?
there.
Fast Eddie McClintock.
Yeah, Fast Eddie McClintock.
Oh, Fast Eddie McClintock.
Yeah.
Clintoff.
And I think also Fast Eddie's. Remember Pogs? I think they had a line of Pogs. that
Remember
were Fast
Pogs?
Eddie's too.
Yeah.
I can go pull out my
Pogs.
Pogs, my entire sleeve of
I think I had some
Go
Fast
get your,
Eddie
go get
Pogs.
your, go get, what was it called? A
Slammers.
slammer.
I'll slam
Yeah,
your
go
You
ass.
got a
Slammer.
slammer?
Dude,
You got a good slammer?
You don't want to fuck with my
All
clothes.
right, let's get into the ratings. Let's put a bow on this.
Let's put a Beauregard
This is
on that.
this is gonna end up being a completely middle rating because half
Well, I
of
already
us
know
are gonna
the
give
average.
it a high and
Not
the
that-
the other half is gonna give it a low.
Well,
All right,
Well,
I give this.
Can I start?
I picked this movie, so I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
I give this movie an 8. I think it's still a great watch. I can see that this isn't one of Scorsese's better films, but it's still really damn good in my opinion. Tom Cruise before he was really Tom Cruise. Paul Newman right at the end of the apex of his career.
Yeah.
I have a tough time having anyone tell me that it's a bad movie, as you can see. But obviously everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Go ahead, Nick.
7
I
and-
wanted to go. What?
7.5.
Got any reason behind that?
It's and I think I don't know what I gave last week's because I think this is just as enjoyable, probably a little bit more enjoyable than Vast of Night for me. It's around the same. So I forgot what I gave last week, but it's around the same bit. It's like a 7 to 8. It's not like I put it on the mantle and that's amazing, legendary movie, but it's like, yeah, serviceable. I'll watch it. I'll put it on, not have a problem at all. Enjoy it. Easy 7.5.
All right, Eric.
jeez. I think I'm gonna give it 4 out of 10, and I'm going off of the Hugo scale, which I've now adopted of just how much did I enjoy it when I was watching it. I noticed there are some there's a great cast and stuff, but it's kind of like we said. Like I never like this movie could have been an hour and a half. There's no reason it needed to be 2 hours. So for me, it just kind of dragged, and I feel like I never got those like awesome pool scenes or like any kind of like awesome scene where I was like really invested in a character or like the plot itself. I wouldn't watch it again personally. Didn't really dig the vibe of the movie, so I give 4 out of 10.
4.
Whoa.
All right. Well, let's go from bad to worse. Why? What are you giving it?
I mean, I'm not giving it worse than that because I don't just. I mean, that's not really how I rate things. This is not on the scale of like, you know, what it will. You know, to me, AI was way worse than this. This is where it's. This is where it
Is
gets.
this like Monos?
Monos,
Monos is
Time
no.
Bandits
Monos is like
territory?
I don't know what I gave Monos. This to me is just like right down the middle. Like, it's definitely not a horrible movie because I wasn't scrambling to turn it off, but I wasn't interested at the same time. So I'm giving it a straight 5.
You fell asleep in this movie.
The first 26 minutes, a straight 5. Which is
Being a
horrible.
little generous.
But it's a straight 5.
There's no way I
It's
could
not a
have
gay-
a worse.
It's not a gay 5. It's a straight 5.
Well, bro, like this is not comparable to some of the movies that I've hated, but I just simply didn't get the hype around any of it. I didn't
Zach?
get it.
I'm gonna go I'll probably give it the highest rating. I'm gonna give it an 8.3. I enjoy it. I think it's a very rewatchable movie. Personally, for me, I love the dialogue. I like the dialogue between the characters. You know what, Wadden? You can think whatever you want. You don't have to like the same thing as me. It's perfectly fine. I'm not going to try and convince you. For me, it's enjoyable. I also enjoy like pool movies and pool stories. There's another movie. It is not nearly as good, and I still like it. Pool Hall Junkies. If you've never seen it, it's like an indie film with probably nobody you've ever heard of. I enjoy that movie too, and it's almost the same story.
I'd not like it then.
I like this movie. I think Paul Newman. I think this was a good end to his peak in Hollywood, and I like the young Tom Cruise. I thought both of the characters were very well portrayed. They had other really good, I guess you could call them guest spots with Turturro and Forrest Whitaker, and I just
Also,
enjoyed it.
the guy Orvis that was running Chalkies was a good. He's been in a lot of shit too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have a question after Travis gives his answer. So really quickly before we wrap up, I do have a question to pose after
Yeah, we will
Travis.
open up the Q&A once Travis is given.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10.
Oh my God.
Paul Newman. Love
You
Paul
gotta be
Newman.
fucking
I
kidding me.
got to see
Your
Cool
scale
Hand
is
Luke.
dumb.
I got to see Butch
Your
Cassidy and the
opinions.
Sundance
Ugh.
Kid. Scorsese was doing all
Ugh.
kinds of crazy shit with the camera. He was banging around from here to there.
Ruined rating.
The shot of Paul Newman when it was just like going in a circle around him for like a minute, that was fucking sick. Some of the shit he was doing with the pool balls. Yeah, he was doing some crazy shit.
I wanted to mention the shot where he walks into the pool hall and they shoot the ceiling where there's that one strip of light bulbs that's just out. I was like, that is like the personification of this film. Like, trying to find like the last little bit of glimmer he can.
Right? The last little bit of juice.
Well, I was gonna say that was an awesome end to the rating before Ben ruined it all. I loved the bam with the 10. Just kidding, Ben. I'm just fucking with you, Ben. But I love the 10 there.
I'll mute myself.
Just to spice it up.
I
agree with you. Ben. I like that shot. But the 10, that's hot.
The woman from the Abyss, I mean, she's killer. She's Money in the Abyss.
I
She's
remember her being so
Money
good
in
in
this. What?
7.133 repeating.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I had to lift it up a little bit because people were weighing it down.
You really put that up.
Ask you something that might have bothered.
Scale is broken. It only goes.
They never explain how to play 9-ball. I know how to play 9-ball, but if you had never played,
They explained it. They explained it
Very
More than once, I think.
succinctly.
I definitely didn't.
It's a rotational game, they say. It's a rotational pool
They
game.
never explain how you have to hit the 9-ball in and how you have to hit. If you want to get it, you can hit other balls, but you have to like hit the 1 ball first. Yada
You
yada.
haven't been down so bad. You
I just felt like
Well,
movies like this, there wasn't enough explanation of like I wanted more pool stuff instead of like the dumbass side stories between like the guys' girlfriends or wives or like.
There's not that much involved in pool.
I know. That's why I don't think this movie like really held its weight because instead of talking about pool, they got into like weird relationship stuff that never went anywhere.
well,
And then at the end,
that's
we're
actually-
waiting for the match. The match never happened.
That kind of ties into my question. I guess that kind of almost answers. You want the explanation. I was going to say for a movie like this about pool, which is not like a high action, it's not any given Sunday, right? It's not football. Why is this so much less palatable than a movie like Rounders about poker?
I was gonna say Rounders is a good comparison for this movie because it's a similar like slow.
Okay, well Ben, I just made the point, so you can't come in and pretend like you made the point. Okay?
No. I'm
We're piggybacking. Okay.
no, I'm just approving your point. I'm putting an
I
exclamation point.
understand. I'm joking with
An
you.
exclamation point on your point.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
get
just
what you're saying. I mean,
just
I think there's tension within Rounders because, like, I know poker and pool, and like I said, like, they just kind of like there was never like we saw the whole game from start to finish. There was never like a slowed out game where it was like, man, how am I gonna make this shot? And
plus Edward Norton is close to going back to jail if he, and Matt Damon, he puts all the money he has into that, the ending.
And it's like when you flip a card, then it like things change, and then you're like, all right, what are we gonna do when it's the turn? And then like there was somewhat of a villain with Teddy or KGB, and this movie just kind of had never really had that.
I mean, I will be the first to step up and say I like Rounders a lot more than this.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm just
I'll say that.
explaining why I think they don't really compare. Like, I
I don't think they had a performance like Paul Newman. I like Paul Newman.
I do think Paul Newman was the best part of this movie. I'm not saying he was bad. I agree with that. I liked him.
I don't know. I'll take John Malkovich in Rounders.
He's not that good in Rounders.
You know what he said? I think I probably said this on the podcast already. Matt Damon was getting interviewed about how when they were doing that movie, the big swinging dick was John Malkovich was on set, and they were like, oh man, John Malkovich is here. And then they did the first scene with him, and he was doing his crazy accent at the table. And then there was a cut, and then he leans over to Matt Damon and says, I'm a terrible fucking actor.
That's awesome.
I mean, I think that
What the
kind of
fuck?
is the appeal somehow of John Malkovich, that he's
The
kind
absurdity.
of
He's an overactor.
He's an
Talk about
overactor.
overacting. That is the
Yeah.
epitome of overacting is
Yeah.
KGB.
Yeah.
Have you? I mean, I don't know if you guys have been watching the NBA playoffs, but he voices a commercial for the NBA playoffs. What
Who's
happened? John Malkovich.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you were saying Paul Newman.
Transcendent.
Yeah.
Is he dead
And
yet?
it's like
Yeah,
Paul
I think
Newman's
he
been
is. Yeah, he's been
He
dead a
lives
while.
on through
he's
his
dead
dress.
for
Mocha.
a minute.
He lives on through his dressing. I like that.
Nick, I haven't
Pizzas.
laughed that hard in a long time.
Oh, at the cutting them off? Yeah.
I brought up Rounders, so you can't take it. Oh my God.
Always
That's
something with
yeah.
these guys. You know?
All right, this
Well,
says. No, well,
Wait,
I was just gonna say this. Go ahead.
No, you say.
No, I was just gonna say I typed in movies like Color of Money, and Wolf of Wall Street, The Big Short, The Founder, The Social Network.
No, none of those.
Nope.
But I did type that in, and something said Rounders was
Rounders.
there.
I guess, yeah.
Hoosiers.
Kingpin.
I haven't seen Kingpin anywhere. Anyway, that was it.
So you're next, Travis, and it looks like we're not going to be watching Storm Ship Troopers or whatever it's called.
Storm ship.
Hey, wait, I'm next? Nobody told me I was
No,
next.
he's not next.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
I
wrong.
thought Eric was next.
When they hop
I'm
on
next.
the storm ship.
Okay.
Yeah. Let
And
Eric
who's
go.
on deck?
Oh, good
Zach.
question. Who's on
We can
deck?
we can
Zach
watch
is
Manos
raising his
again.
hand.
Zach's on deck? I thought you did being John Malkovich.
Zach's on deck.
Maybe it's you then.
Zach is on deck. Yes.
Damn, we've gone through the rotation already. What did Travis pick? Oh, that's right. Time Bandits.
Time Bandits. He fucked us with Time Bandits.
How could one forget?
I mean, it's been there's been 3 awful movies in a row, in my estimation.
Yeah. Well.
So I got a lot.
I don't include this one, but yeah,
well, hopefully
this brought it back for me.
A lot of pressure.
Hopefully we can get another The One, so we can end that streak
this week.
What?
I'm just glad Wyatt was on my side this week, and I didn't have to be the douchey.
You know, Eric, I came in a little hard. These guys get mad. I'm sorry, you boys, but we have our opinions.
Hey man, I came in hard last week. You got to stand your ground.
You sounded like what was the woman's name in Kroll Show that is like the Jersey
Fabrice?
Which one? Are you talking about his other bitch? The
black-haired girl?
She's hilarious. Yeah.
Like
black-haired girl.
Oh man. What's the Ghost Bouncer's like girlfriend?
Yeah. Yeah,
that's who you sounded like.
Oh, anyway. Tani or
something like that.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Oh,
you know what Amanda?
Oh,
really quick before you say it, guess what Amanda was just bought on Amazon and was watching before I came down here.
What show?
Summer High Tie.
Oh, the best.
I was thinking about Chris Lilly the other day for some reason.
I always see little reels of his as Mr. G, just fucking hilarious. You fucking bitch! You fucking
watch them.
I'm bloody quit. I bloody quit. What?
There's one he did one for Netflix. It definitely was like the worst one, but it's pretty interesting.
Lunatics?
Yeah, Lunatics. Did you guys watch that?
Nah, I couldn't really get through it. So
I mean, it's not as good as the other ones, but I mean, some of the characters. I mean,
Angry Boys was tremendous to me.
Oh, Angry Boys has like heart to it.
Dude, I cried in that season finale. I didn't
surprised that he pulled that off. Like
amazing. Yeah, no, man. Travis, personal friend, so.
I got an email response from him.
What rabbit hole are we going down next week?
Oh, I got a perfect movie that I watched last week, and I am hoping that I get
tell us, Eric.
Autonomy with my selection, and there's no veto power.
Sure.
Nah, I'm not going to grant you that until I hear it.
I'll grant it.
Well,
I'll only grant it because he has had such negative takes on the last 3 movies.
Yeah, I'm taking
I want to watch something that's going to... I hope it crashes and burns.
Hey, before do you guys want to see my dad's Balabushka?
What is that?
He has a Balabushka? That's not a Balabushka.
Wow.
Balabushka.
Yeah, does it break down in half?
Wow.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Show me the label where it says Balabushka.
A forfeit.
Sure that he didn't actually sign it. You have to look at the pearls on the curves to know.
I'm calling fraud on that. That's a.
What do you mean?
That's a Costco Q stick.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
I know nothing about Q
Never
sticks.
be too
Could
sure.
be a Balabushka for all I know.
It's a John Cusack.
Yeah, it's John Q.
That's,
yeah,
I hope you have
Tom
John.
Cruise.
I'd rather watch any John Cusack movie than this.
Gross Point, great film.
What?
Whoa.
Gross Point. All right, yeah, woo, yeah.
Are we about to watch some ninja movie?
No, that was straight out of Tom Cruise's repertoire.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of shit.
He did some crazy shit in that movie. All right, Eric, give it to us straight drop.
I didn't go over as good as I thought it was.
What's that shit that you cooking up?
Wow, I was like, damn, Trev. Good for you.
The movie that I've selected this week for you all to watch next week or this week is called The Devil's Backbone. I'm assuming Ben is going to naysay this because it is a horror movie.
About Nazis, Ben.
It is somewhat to do with Nazis.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
It has fascism.
Yeah.
Nazis, like Travis is pissed.
No, I love Nazis.
The Devil's Backbone. Well, how many people have seen Pan's Labyrinth?
I mean, they make interesting stories.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my
We
god.
have the title for the podcast. I love Nazis.
Eric's
come on,
obsessed with
Hellboy,
Hispanic
Indiana
movies.
Jones,
Whoa,
Nazis are
whoa.
good bad guys.
Whoa, I see.
Inglorious Bastards.
I
Inglourious
see who it's
Basterds,
directed
great.
by.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is a
That-
Guillermo del Toro movie.
Oh,
And
really?
written.
Yes, it was the movie he made before Pan's Labyrinth.
I can only find Devil's Backbone Brewery. How the fuck
Uh,
do you find
The Devil's Backbone. Just type in
I'm
movie out.
drinking that right now. A couple of
Yeah.
years
Devil's Backbone.
Eric, had you watched this? Did you already watch it when you asked me this earlier last week?
I watched it last week. No, I'd never seen it. And I wanted
No,
to
when you
know
texted me about it, had you seen it yet?
No, I hadn't seen it before.
Okay, so you just found it and then all right. Okay.
Oh, had I watched it and then texted you? You mean?
Right.
Yes, I watched it and then I texted you. Sorry.
I mean, the
I
problem
think I've
with
seen this.
watching this is there's no way it can be better than Pan's Labyrinth.
That is true.
Well, that's the whole point of this fucking podcast that you say every week, Travis, is not to judge a movie.
Well,
by-
I don't have to say.
You know
What was
what?
the other one you
It's
did?
Guillermo del Toro. I'll watch it. Oh,
Shape of Water.
Ben does not look happy.
Shape of Water is money.
Don't
Shape of
admit
Water
it
is good.
to yourself or someone else. It was not.
My wife hated.
Ben, you're on mute.
See, that's so wild.
Laura, yeah, I don't think Laura really liked it either.
So,
By the way, if you haven't seen it, 90 millimeter NY, 70 millimeter NY has a great review of Shape of Water. So, which is we're trolling Rob and Ben with our movie pick. So Ben Brantlinger has a letterbox account where he rates movies, and so Goslin and I would rate these movies, and his Shape of Water is the best review you will ever read. And he said, so I don't get it. He was a fish? Or
That's
I mean,
Alex's review.
the Shape of Water review is it's even better than what I just said. It's so funny. Anyways, sorry. I'll watch this. Does anybody remember the Guillermo del Toro movie with like the missing kids? What was that called? I hated that movie.
Missing Kid.
I don't know.
And it's like at the end, the woman's like playing hide and seek with the kids, and it sucked.
It sucked.
I haven't really seen many of Guillermo del Toro's movies.
See what he's got here.
The Orphanage.
Yes, The Orphanage
I've
sucked.
never seen that.
Wait, was that with
It was with the one that sucked.
what's Tom Cruise's ex-wife?
Katie Holmes.
No, the other one, first one. No, that's not it.
Oh,
Oh,
Kid-
That other.
no, I'm thinking of some Nicole Kidman movie. No, I don't know.
Man, where is that? Damn
We
it.
did Blade 2? What the fuck?
is Ben
Hellboy.
what's going on?
Dude, money.
Pacific Rim. Wild.
The Strain
That's
is
why The
actually not
Strain
a
was
bad
good.
TV show.
The Strain
At
was pretty
first.
good, dude.
First,
yeah,
Also
pretty good.
Nazis.
Yeah, also Nazis.
For a horror movie is supposed to be another pretty good one he did.
What?
Antlers.
Antlers? That's recent, right?
Yeah. I
But
think
that wasn't him. I saw Antlers. That wasn't Guillermo.
Yeah,
del
no,
Toro.
I don't see that in
Yeah,
his.
it's-
goes up
his-
under him. Maybe he was a producer.
Mhm.
Probably.
Yeah, I thought that was okay. We saw that in theaters. That was sorry. I like that woman from The Americans.
Carrie
Russell.
Russell.
Smoker.
Carrie Russell's money.
Smokes.
Pretty good.
Smoke him if you got him.
Whoa.
And she got him.
I like thick one.
Hmm?
I like the thick.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, I'll give it a roll. Let's
Good,
get
no
this
more
out of the
stuff.
way so that we can break Ben in, and then we can watch Starship Troopers pretty soon.
Oh God, that movie.
Are you willing to watch this movie, Ben?
Ben, you're on mute.
On mute.
Wait, who muted Ben?
I didn't mute him. I think he muted himself and doesn't.
I'm guessing Wyatt did it.
I didn't.
I nailed it.
What?
Thing you
What?
said.
Goslin's review. The Shape of Water 2017, 4.5 stars. I don't get it. He was a fish? Man.
But is he
Yeah.
making fun of Brantlinger?
Yeah, and so here's the artist from 2011. Spent 90 minutes trying to get the sound to work. Couldn't figure it out. Too bad. Looked pretty good. And then Roma, the black and white movie from Netflix a couple years ago, 2021. Finally fixed the sound on my new TV and decided to check out a classic, and now the color's off. It took me over 2 hours to fix it, but enjoyed the uplifting dialogue in the background as I worked on my LG. That's perfect. Excellent.
Guy's a troll.
Yeah, excellent troll.
Guy's a good troll.
And I'll just, if you'll indulge me, I'll read just one of mine. Stepmom. Took me about 45 minutes to realize we weren't going to be getting tits in this one. Back to incognito mode it is. Oh, nothing? Stepmom? Okay. Tried. I hope we're not recording still.
Oh, we are. Ben, you look really happy about this movie pick.
What's your favorite horror movie film, Ben? Come on.
I don't know. I don't like any horror films.
Not one?
A horror
Saw? Not Saw?
It's
I
incorrect.
will never watch a Saw movie.
For real.
That is way beyond my limits.
That's a gore.
I mean, I'm not a horror person, but I like The Shining, Silence of the Lambs.
Psychological.
Sure,
I feel like psychological stuff is more
I can
scary
do
than
it
horror.
when they're not like dismembering people and showing it. Sure.
That's not this movie.
Like I've watched The Ring and what's that other stupid
That's
one with
scary.
Sarah Michelle Gellar?
I know what you did last summer.
Buffy
No, the one,
Vampire Slayer?
the Japanese murder forest one.
The Grunge.
Yeah, that one. I've seen
Ooh,
that.
that sounds great.
I've seen a hand. I've seen some scary movies. Amityville Horror. I've seen that. Only because Ryan Reynolds was in it.
That is so freaking.
Okay, well, you're not going to
pretty
It
gay.
was adorable. It's like because Ryan had
Sounded
to brave through it.
Yeah.
That too.
I still love The Conjuring. I did love the first Conjuring, man.
I like the first two.
I really liked it.
Did
That
anybody
was,
ever see those horror movies that Rob Zombie did? The House of
Ooh.
a Thousand Corpses?
Ooh.
That
Yeah.
was money. That's a good movie.
See,
That's
that,
definitely
that's
probably
just too
good.
much. That's where like.
those are like extreme gore. I hate those kind of movies.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I
Hills
usually don't
Have
like it.
Eyes.
And that's why I was surprised I
Yeah,
liked
people-
that
The,
movie.
the Hills Have Eyes. I got. That was a movie I went to on a date once, and I walked out of the theater, and like
Scarred for
the
life.
date had to convince me to come back in.
How about Shutter Island?
I've never seen that.
Shutter
I
Island.
like Shutter Island.
Yeah, I
Add
never,
it to the list.
I never watched it because the ending was, I already knew the ending, which kind of.
Wow,
Oh,
that
that's a
movie was. Yeah, that was. I
mean, somebody
Is
told
that
me.
the DiCaprio? Is that the DiCaprio
Yeah.
one? And that's
Yeah.
a remake,
Well,
right?
Yeah.
No,
I liked it. I liked
not a remake.
I want to see it.
thought it was.
I liked A Quiet Place.
It's not really horror to me.
What is that?
Eric called it AQP2 one time. That was really
What's
funny.
A Quiet Place? What's that one about?
With John
It's
Krasinski.
Yeah, so
Oh,
Jim is like
alien
Jim and
movie?
Pam, and they can't
Yeah.
speak, and
Yeah.
Pam's deaf.
Okay, I've seen
Uh,
the.
I mean,
second
it's very light. It's like science fiction more than horror, but
I've,
it's
I've seen the second one. I haven't seen the first one.
The two
Shutter Island was Scorsese.
Mhm.
Yeah.
best
yeah,
horror
bro.
that I've seen recently are Midsommar and Hereditary.
You
If
couldn't
have
pay me
watched
to watch it.
Hereditary-
Midsummer is like on the edge of what I can watch.
The
If you have
Edge.
not watched Hereditary, you need to watch that movie.
Hereditary is probably the best horror movie I've ever seen.
Yeah,
That means
it is.
no thanks.
And it's not gory. It's not. There's gory parts, but it is a mind fuck.
Did
of
you
a
watch?
movie.
Did you watch The Witch?
I did. I like that as well. I like that
Yeah.
as well.
And did you watch The Lighthouse?
I have seen The Lighthouse.
You know what
Yes.
the next step is? Satanic worship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
what do
Harvey-
you get out of what do I don't understand what people get out of that. Like
I'm at a dilemma.
weird
I don't know if I like Nazis or
darkness.
Satan more. I can't tell which one I like.
or just like dismembering humans. Like
Well, Hereditary. Hereditary in particular has actually got a
I mean,
pretty
trust me, I want to kill
The
everyone
ending
else around me
is not
too. But
very
like,
nice.
that's
the driving
Go
taking it
record
too
it.
far.
is all you need to say. That is the most my jaw hit the floor when that scene.
I've heard
So
about
did
this.
hers.
Yeah,
Yes.
Chad Hughes talks about it enough. I don't need to watch it. No, thank
What
you.
movie is this?
Hereditary.
Murder porn.
Yeah, I don't watch
It
this.
is
Yeah.
murder porn.
Chad Dukes
Murder
talks
porn.
another one that's pretty dicey.
Informative murder porn.
Bone Tomahawk.
Oh
I've heard
yeah,
that.
that's one that I will.
I've
pull
heard
down.
about that
I
one.
will.
Ooh.
Wyatt's brought that one up plenty of times.
It's just.
Isn't that a bro? Who's in that?
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, Kurt
David
Russell.
Arquette briefly.
I was thinking
Yeah.
before we continue, I was thinking Wyatt, if he was in Escape from LA, like a kind of
Snake Plissken.
pseudo-futuristic thing.
Snake.
By the way, I would
Plissken.
like to nominate Escape from LA as a Shoehorn movie. I haven't seen that since Eddie Park's Sunroom.
I would watch
and-
that.
It's been a long time.
Sunroom. Wait. That should be our podcast name, the Eddie Park Sunroom movie
But
podcast.
I feel like if
Be
Wyatt was in a place of authority in that type of like reality, if like the world was ending and there were no government or anything,
Mhm.
Wyatt's test would, for if you could survive or not, would be, do you like Monos the movie? And if he says yes, they get immediately killed and you move on with your day.
You like it? All right.
There's no way
Great, Dak.
Monos is even in the bottom 5 of the worst movies we've watched, and we've watched 23 now.
Wow.
22 movies now. Excuse me.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
isn't it? Doesn't it hold the record for the least viewed YouTube video?
Well, I don't put a lot of weight into that.
Spanish.
You should
Yeah,
put
well,
a
you
lot of
should.
weight into that.
Travis might have put the wrong search engine up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you
The-
really can't do
the
that.
Real,
They
the
do
real
it for
kicker
you.
is that Death to Smoochie is one of our leading ones. So
That doesn't-
everyone's fucking
The
stupid.
majority of people are stupid, so
Robin
Exactly.
Williams.
That's
Robin
gonna
Williams.
yours in.
Yeah, Monos is tied for the least with 2. A
That's
couple
fine.
others have 2.
what was the Monos rating overall is the real question.
Yeah, I don't know.
Back to
I
my
think
point.
that was early
Had
on.
to have
so
been below 5.
we might have been giving it a little bit of a pass. I feel like I gave it a relatively.
You guys there's some
Six.
revisionist history going on here.
Definitely
I wasn't there for that. I saw it afterwards, posthumously. So I'll say, which I know is not the right word, but I'll give that movie a 6. I'll go on the
Yeah,
record
I
for a
think
6.
I gave something like that.
I'd be above a 5. I'd be above a 5, but I also was blind drunk, falling asleep at the end. Like I was
Okay.
pretty bad.
All right, but we're deciding on The Devil's Backbone. We're good with that, so we can stop
Yeah,
recording.
you don't have a choice.
Yeah, I
Okay.
might be sick next week.
Oh, Ben, this isn't a scary movie at all. So you know,
Come on.
Uh-huh.
it's not. I don't
No,
like-
Ben, please don't.
All right, so it's decided. Watch The Devil's Backbone and come back next week. Thank you. Goodbye.
All right, keep